Dear students, yesterday we started the play Silver Box for our discussion by John Galsworthy. We had talked in brief the background in which the play has been written. We find that this play is based on the idea of social inequality, legal inequality that was prevalent in the London of John Galsworthy. We find that this system is still prevalent throughout the world in some way or the other. And today I am Dr. Naveen Kumar Jha, Associate Professor in English, presenting the theme of the play, which deals with the very circumstance in which the play has been written and the very much just intention of the playwright that he is to present before us. We find that John Galsworthy depicted men in conflict under forces of our legal and social system. We notice that there is a social and legal circumstance throughout the world where the poor have to struggle a lot for getting justice. It is not so easy for the poor people to get justice. Or there are some cases in which we find that poor are not getting their justice as well. Because the legal system is also very much influenced by the wealthy and powerful person. So definitely we can say that in every aspect of life, including the legal system, the poor have a Herculean task to get justice for themselves. It is why John Galsworthy depicts the man conflicting on the social and legal system to find justice. Here, there is a single case of the similar nature, that a silver box has been stolen, first by the son of Badwick, who is a prosperous person and the member of parliament. The same silver box is stolen in drunken state of mind by the servant. So, for the same act, there are two legal judgments. And it is here the question of equality before the justice is raised in the play. Now, we find that John Galsworthy has very keen insight into the hearts of men and women. And it is her training as a lawyer that he could realize and understand the suffering and conflict going into the mind of the poor people who do not get their dues for lack of money, for lack of power. It is what the theme of this play is. So, could you believe that for the same act, there are two kinds of judgment passed by the same magistrate? Do you expect that this should happen in the legal system? That one judgment is the poor person and another for the rich person? In later, we always say that yes, law is equally applied to all the people, irrespective of their positions and their status in society. But in practice, what you find is quite different thing. It is here the merit of the play lies, and the playwright is very sorry to observe all these kind of things into the legal system of England, which is supposed to be the very just much democratic country, where it is just very much said that justice is equal to all, and just all have right to get their justice. But what you find in reality is quite different. So this is a realistic play. It is not going to talk about anything normatively. Yes, normatively we are speaking that justice is to all, and all have right to get equal justice. And especially in democratic country like England, all have the same approach to justice. But here the playwright has presented realities of life in the depictions of joy and sorrows. We find that there are two laws. In practice, we find that one law is for the rich and one law is for the poor. And he has tried to prove through this play that the poor do not get the true justice. If the poor have been sent for jail for the same act or for the same breach of law, why have a rich person been debarred from being sent to jail? The reason is only one, that he is not a poor person. He is not the person of the ordinary family. He is the son of a prosperous and great parliamentarian, member of parliamentarian. So for him, there is another justice. So it is an irony. Very much ironically, the picture has been depicted by the playwright. And just irony is between the social contrast of the classes. We find that there is an unbridgeable gap between the poor and the rich. There is a gap, and gap exists. That gap is unbridgeable. We cannot simply just compensate for anything, for any loss to the poor. We find that it is so big a gap that we cannot bridge up. And it has always been the gap. It is almost from the very beginning of our social life that we have been coming through this kind of gap. Although theoretically we have made so many laws, so many rules to bridge the gap, but it remains unbridgeable in practice. And it is what the irony of society is, that there is one law for talk and there is another law to be applied in court of justice. So we find that he has raised that very question through the play, that there is a simple situation. The theme is very simple and it has been developed to a play. That around the stealing of his silver box, the plot has been developed. And the same silver box has been stolen by two people, one by the son of a powerful person, another by the poor servant. So, this simple incident is just going to expose our legal system. In legal system, we find that this kind of difference is maintained, and even magistrate is not capable enough to overcome the gap that exists between the rich person and the poor person so far as getting of judgment is concerned. So this simple theme is there in the corner, or in the center rather, of the discussion, and a dramatic structure has been skillfully wrought around this simple theme, and we find that it has been drawn up in excellent prose. We find that operation of the law, just which is very clearly, massively affecting the life of the rich and the poor people. We can say when we pass a judgment for the poor, like imprisonment, we find his life becomes hellish. The whole family is to suffer a lot, because this is not only in the purview of legal system that he is punished, but in social life also he finds very tough day to establish himself. He is not getting any job anywhere. The poor person becomes jobless once he is just sentenced to jail. So for him or for his family, the life is just like a dark night, because we cannot make other convince that we have been sent for this kind of act, minor act, which was committed in unconscious stage of mind, but very consciously the same act was committed by a rich person. So he was just simply barred from the punishment, but I was punished. This kind of double standard of legal system is known to the society, but society does not give any space for the poor person to establish himself or for his family, that he is to continue his life. So once we get punishment, rather legal punishment, for any act or for any crime, the life of the poor person is a very sordid life, because society is very much critical of the act of the poor people who is just sentenced. But it is not the same kind of situation for the rich person. We find that rich person very easily escapes himself from the punishment, that he is not punished. And even if he is punished, people are just blind of the realities. They hardly make any kind of social comment for the act or punishment that the rich people get. So we find that it has a very great effect, and definitely we find that there are two distinct social groups living in society. On some ground or another ground, you find there is a system where society has been divided into two groups, and you find that one group is of the prosperous consequential Bathwicks with their good for nothing son Jack. He has no work, he is not a responsible person, Jack, and out of his irresponsible sense he is stealing silver box. So poor, but on the other hand, we find that there is a poor John's family which is miserable down at hill with no defenses for itself. And we find that how miserable is the life of the poor person, that he has to plead, that John is pleading in the court that Bathwick's son Jack has also committed the same act. Why has he not been given the same judgment, same punishment? But his voice is unheard by the magistrate. Just the voice of the poor people even is not heard in the court of justice. So we generally find that justice is blind. The God of justice does not see anything, the rank and the post and the status. But in actuality, we do not find that this is the case. It sees everything. It considers social justice. It considers social status, position, ranking, professional achievement, and so on before it passes any kind of judgment. So this is very much harassing for the playwright like John Galsworthy to observe that, and he is surprised to see how the system of justice is working here, especially in England. That time when England was just known for the most prosperous and democratic country. And it has been the intellectual place. And here we find that in reality, the difference between two groups is very easily observed. Now, we find that sheer poverty has been the very much reason for John's that he is in indefensible position. Poverty just is a curse for the people, no matter in what society they live. They may live in India, they may live in England, or they may live in any country, but if you are poor, you are very much in indefensible position. Your just argument is not heard. It is not just catching the attention of the people, or rather people are not going to listen to the argument of the poor people. So the poverty is just making them blind to the reality, making them deaf to the reality, and even the magistrate becomes blind and deaf for the poverty of John's, that he is not listening, paying any attention to the argument made by him in the court of justice, that same crime has been committed by Jack. So John's is sentenced to hard labor in prison, and Jack's guilty of taking the unknown lady's purse gets off with impunity. A purse of a lady is stolen by Jack. It is just a kind of guilty action. But there is no punishment for all these kind of things for Jack. On the other hand, we find that the same silver box and purse are stolen by John's, but he is sentenced to hard labor in prison. Now, nobody is considering what will happen after the imprisonment. Will Jones be able to get his job back? No, he will not be able to get his job back. Mrs. Jones is also saying the same thing, that no, the family has to suffer a lot financially too, because there will be no person, there will be no employer for the family because Jones has been sentenced. So, yes, I don't think that if the crime has been done and committed, Jones should be punished. But why the same punishment is not given to Jack? This is what the question is. It is around this question the play is moving. And the playwright is concerned with this very kind of imbalanced judgment which is passed in the court of justice. We should not favor for not giving the judgment or any kind of punishment to the person who is guilty. He should be given, because if we have to make the social life normal, we cannot promote that kind of action considering the fact that after the imprisonment, the life of the people will be hellish. It becomes hellish. But to establish the rule in society, law in society, order in society, court of justice has to pass the order. But the question is, the same order is not passed by the same magistrate to Jack, for the simple reason that he is the son of Bathwick. Now here we find that there are just not the same standards and measurements to measure the level of crime committed by two people of two different groups. It is what the matter is to be considered, and we are talking that this should not happen. Yes, in talk, just we are saying that no, it is not fair that we are just giving punishment to the poor person, but we are just simply getting off with impunity to the rich person. Now it is here this kind of thing which is raised by Galsworthy. So Jack Galsworthy knows that equality is not real. He knows that. We are just not simply going to establish the equality in society. We may talk enough, we may discuss enough in parliament or in the court of justice or at any platform. We can talk that, equality is essential. That is the best jewel of our democracy. Or very romantically, we can make the story around the idea of concept of equality, that let it be established for just a good and human society. But in reality, we know, and Jack Bathwick also knows, that it is not possible. The people do not let their position go down. If the rich people simply are not ready to accept the punishment for his guilty son, how can we establish that kind of thing? So here Jack Bathwick has the responsibility, because he is a parliamentarian also. So it is his just legislative responsibility to just make the system work without any kind of intervention of power. But he has intervened because it was the matter of his son. And so he has not been successful to run the court smoothly. Now, so the question is, it is just a double standard between classes that we are observing. And especially we find from the person who has been voted for the establishment of equality in the nation is intervening into the legal system to save the life of his son, misusing his power, misusing his position. So what we find, that it is just the natural situation going on, and this disturbs the writer's complacency. Writer is not happy to see all these kind of things. How can a sensitive person like the writer be complacent to find, to observe all these things going on in society? The writer is just a person who tries to make actual romantic idea established in society. And romantic idea is that equality should be established in society. This is what the romantic philosophy is, that there should be no barrier between the poor and the rich. There should be an equal access to the law to the poor and the rich. But we have in reality not been willing to establish this kind of society, because we know that that will be very much the degrading situation for us. We are not going to accept a degradable condition, deplorable condition. The poor are not ready to accept that deplorable condition. And so it is not possible for the person, for the people to establish, because it was to be established by parliamentarian. He is making the law in the house where law is made, and so responsibility of the parliamentarian is to establish that law in society also. How? Remaining himself aloof from the system. If it is the matter of just passing judgment to just his son, he should dare to accept that judgment, that if his son has breached the law, he should be punished. This kind of mindset can only be favorable to realize an equitable society. But here there is an expression of worry and doubt, and there is an expression of anger and dissent. The writer has simply very angrily raised this question. He has expressed his worry for the just differences among the people in society. And in Act 3, Jack exposes more deeply the hypocrisies and self-deception beneath the comfortable surface of the lives of the upper middle class family. We can say that, it is the middle class family, or we can say upper middle class of family, which holds the power, which holds the gutter not to let equality establish in society. Because here it is the matter of their status. It is the matter of their enjoying comfortable life. How can a son of a parliament is to be sent to jail? Or when he is sent to jail with a poor person like Jones, just he will be degraded. He will be very much criticized in society, and he does not dare to listen to that criticism that Bathwick's sons had been sent to jail for the same breach of law. So, mentally we are not ready to accept, and we can find that it is why intentionally law is broken. Here, irresponsibility develops in the upper middle class family, because the people know that they will not be punished for their breach of law, because they are powerful enough, and so they will never be punished for any kind of breach of law. And in result, what you find, that law is intentionally just broken. Law is intentionally played with by the children of the upper middle class family. So you find that there is just simple just disclosure of the real life situation. There is just a language which is very much a prose, common prose language you find, and you find that this is the very ordinary characterization. We do not find characters from the just what we can call very, very, very high society. On the one hand, there are characters from just upper middle class. On the other hand, there are characters from the poor family. So these are all characters of the natural situations, real situations. And these characters are just different so far as their position is concerned. So we can say that it is not an objective presentation. Because we can say in some cases, just punishment is also given to the people of upper class. So he has not been objective. We cannot say that in all cases it happens, but he is talking about the actual life of people, how people are living in society, and what kind of struggle the people have to make in society when they are poor. Just so, poverty is the just greatest hurdle to get justice. Even if there are some people who are getting justice, they have to struggle a lot, they have to suffer a lot. And yes, so when they are just struggling a lot, they are suffering a lot, they also get justice. But it doesn't happen in general situation. It doesn't happen in ordinary situation. And so we find that this has been the very simple theme of the play. But the message is very great, that we have to do that kind of thing. We have not to talk about that kind of thing, because you have talked enough, but you have done little. So matter here is to do and establish actual rule of law in society. If you want to just actually want to establish a democratic order in society. Thank you that we have talked about this thing.